Today in this video we are going to see some of the latest new features of Adobe XD, which is inner shadow. Then we have radial gradients, angular gradients and outline stroke. So one of the features, which is inner shadow, I was waiting from past 1 year. They have added it a very late, but we are going to see and create some things. For example, you can see on the screen we have already created radial angular gradient, filled objects, pressed object and a button. So let me show you what we can do with these three things. Okay, first you can see over here that we have created a very nice angular gradient. Here you can see, if you go to fill, we have the new option radial gradient, and then we have angular gradient. So angular is going to be like this. So here is the angle. You can change the angle over here if you want it to be like this or over here. That's up to you. And if you click again over here, you can see these are actually the colors. So this is the first color, this is the second one. You can see they are also selected over here. So if I select some color over here, they are also selected in this angular gradient panel. So if I select this and change it to something else, for example like this, you can see it is changing. Similarly, if I click over here, I can change it to, for example, over here like this. And if I want to change the middle color, it's up to me. I can change it from over here, or maybe I can go to a bit more darker blue over here like this. So this is how you are going to use the angular gradient. So what I have done over here is, actually there is a border around it, and I'm also using some inner shadows, which is a very new feature in Adobe XD. So let's create something over here. So I'm going to delete this one, also this one. So what I actually did is I actually created a circle or ellipse. Okay, then I went to the fill, then I went to angular gradient, and here we have the basic angular gradient. So I'm going to select this first color, I'm going to use a light color, then I'm going to go to the next one and I'm going to use a darker color over here. So once we have something like this, we are going to create another ellipse over here in this middle like this. We are going to select both of these, align them in the middle. Okay, so they are in the middle. So now I'm going to use a border, which is going to be this darker color. So border around the middle one is going to be the border color, and we are going to use some inner shadow, which is a very new feature in Adobe XD. They have just released it. So for inner shadow, I'm going to use the same color. Let's use this darker color over here. It's darker blue, and I think this is already looking great. So let's put some text over here. Let's say 90% complete. Center align it, V, and I'm going to align it in the middle. Okay, so we have some basic things going on over here. Let's select the bottom ellipse, not the middle one, the bottom one, this one. And we are also going to add a border, which is going to be the darker color over here from here. So inside and outside border is almost the same. Now we are going to add some drop shadow for the outer layer. For the drop shadow, we are again going to use some color. You can use this lighter color if you want to. You can use lighter color and just reduce the opacity a little bit like this. Increase its blur value. So I'm going to go with 12. From here I'm going to go with 6, and let's use 1 in the X over here. So here we have the basic angular gradient, and if we want to adjust something over here, let's add another color. So I am adding one more color over here, and I'm going to go with a darker like blackish color over here. So here we have three colors now, so I can move it around like this. So you can see now it is 90%, almost 90% complete. I'm going to move it like this, and again I'm going to go very close like that. So this is going to be you can see this is going to be my gradient. Let's use some angle over here. Let's use this. I think this one looks better. So here we have a very nice shadowed angular gradient information bar or graph or whatever you can call it. So here we have it. Now let's create another one which we have over here, this one pressed state. So for that we are going to again use an ellipse. Here is an ellipse. We have an ellipse. You can see the background color of this artboard is gray. Make sure it is not white because we are using white over it, and I'm going to explain why we are going to use white. Border is also going to be white. Fill color is going to be this one. Let's use this one. Okay, so now we have we have border, white border, because white border is going to let's zoom in. Let me show you why I added this white border. So once we add this inner shadow over here, so we are going to add inner shadow that is going to be very dark blue. Let's use go into this over here. Okay, so make sure the blur value and this Y value is a bit closer in inner shadows, because if you try to create very blurry inner shadow, let me show you. So if I increase this value, you can see if I increase the blur value, it is going to shape like a 3D ball where we have shadows all around the shape. So we actually don't need that. We actually need a very close shadow like this one. Let's use 8 over here for the Y value, and let's use blur to be like 10. Okay, so again I'm going to change the color of this one to be like this, and let's see if we have some inner shadow. I'm not sure why it is still doesn't look like an inner shadow to me. I'm going to make it a bit lighter over here, and let's use the values. Let's remove this X value for right now. Let's use 1 over here, and we are going to use a darker color. Let's use this one. I think the blur value is too much, so I'm going to reduce it like this. I'm also going to reduce this one a bit. You can see my settings. Now it is looking like a pressed state because we need a very hard shadow close to the border. You can see now it is a pressed state. So if I zoom out, you can see over here it's on 150%. So I'm going to use a text over here called pressed, and this is our pressed state. So let's make it white. So here we have the use of inner shadow. Make sure the inner shadow is close to the border. You can see over here I have used 5 for the y-axis, and blur is actually 4, 1 is for the x-axis. So this is how I am using the inner shadow. Now the third part is actually very cool, and let me create another artboard, and we are going to delete this, all this. Let's delete this. I'm going to create a button over here. Okay, pill shaped button, so I'm going to go with the rounded corner to be 36. Let's keep it like this. This looks amazing. Let's keep it like this, and I am going to use border value to be 3. You can increase the border value if you want to. Let's use 5. Let's use 5. Okay, so I want this border to have a gradient color. which is possible in CSS web development. It is possible. So in the border, if you go, you can just use a static color. You can either use this one, or this one. I want to have a border where I have a gradient border. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the fill. I'm going to select this shape, go to object and go to path, and then I'm going to click on outline stroke. So once my stroke is outlined, you can see it is changed to fill now. There's no border around it. So it is a shape of its own. It's another object. So I can go to fill, I can go to linear gradient, and here I have my linear gradient. You can see you can change the angle if you want to, but let's use this one. And for the lighter color, I'm going to go with a very light color, so you can see the difference over here. So let's use this, something like that. I'm not able to move this color over here, so I am going to use another drop point over here. This looks great. So let's use a bit of darker shade over here, or maybe a lighter one like this. So let's see. Okay, so we have a very strange kind of button over here. Let's delete this red one, and I think we are good to go. So let's use some button text over here, button, and we are going to use some color over here like this dark blue, align it in the middle, and this is the effect we want to achieve. So this is possible in CSS in web development, but it was not possible in Adobe XD, and they have released these 3 new features, which is really helpful in designing great user interfaces. I think you have enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed this video and learned something new, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with others. I know that a lot of people are not subscribing to my channel. They are viewing my videos but not subscribing. So that is all about these 3 new features of Adobe XD. I am going to meet you in another video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.